I think is worth flagging because I mean, obviously the goal of this. I'm somewhat surprised, maybe not, that it didn't get the attention it deserved on at least some of the morning shows, whatever. This Doge effort by
Yeah.
Elon and Vivek, great op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. I think it's
Yeah.
worthy because it's not like I think they sat there and hammered this thing out together in the tea room at Mar-a-Lago. But at the end of the day, it really is instructive. I was actually really impressed with how what they describe as their approach to this. And I think if handled correctly, that's the key word, the asterisk, the whatever, this could actually be very, very effective. Because it shows that they've really thought this thing out, not just the goal. Everybody, I'm going to cut / government spending, but they understand the challenges that they will face and the pushback that they'll get. And they've laid out a very constructive understanding of the problem that exists and how they intend to address it. And again, I don't know that I mean, I'm sure a staffer largely helped like that, but
Yeah.
it really said to me, okay, these guys aren't like crazy just saying we're going to go in and slash and we're going to cut this. They've thought it through,
I
and
agree.
we'll see where this goes. But I've been so far impressed with this effort because I do believe that the one issue that did not get properly addressed on the campaign trail by either party was the threat that we face from our debt and deficit, and how it.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be a serious thing. But obviously, the question is, they take on entitlements or not. If they don't take on entitlements, it's interesting, it's symbolic, it's at the edges. But they've got.
I will say this, just for the record,
and the Defense Department. Those are your three big.
I think they will. I think they will. I think they will take on the Defense Department.
They will. I mean, it's the idea that a major department that wants massive amounts of additional money can't pass an audit is somewhat laughable.
Yeah.
I will say this.
Newt Gingrich used to say he's a hawk, but a cheap hawk, and I think that's what they'll be.
Right. And that's the thing, is that there's just so much business that is not done well. I will say this as a former budget committee spokesman, just so that we get ready for this, because part of our job, I think, has always been to explain the process. Just get ahead of this. When in the way it works in Washington, if you have $10 and you expect 20 and I give you 15, that's a $5 cut. And I think that what we're going to see going forward is discussions of massive cuts and whatever. And just brace yourself, because
restraint in growth.
Right.
Restraint and growth.
It's never actually a real cut. And I think that when you look even at entitlements and you say we can actually slow the rate of growth or find these efficiencies, everyone freaks out and calls it a cut. It's not.
The only thing is Donald Trump has no history of embracing cuts like this. He likes to give everything to everyone to make them happy.
Except he's a lame duck.
No. But I will tell you, Mark, I watched Mulvaney walk into the Oval, and granted it was 8 years ago, and all he had to do, like if he said, I want to have a social tonight, the idea that it might even be, the words are going to be Social Security, he'd say, stop, Mick, I don't want to hear it. He does not want to touch entitlements.
I agree that he's never wanted to, but he's a lame duck, and it's the only way to really make deficit reduction. And the reality is, we all know exactly how to deal. The Medicare and Medicaid's tougher. We all know how to change Social Security so it doesn't affect current retirees or those approaching retirement. We all know what the changes are. We all know that a lot of reasonable people in both parties support them. So he could do it. He doesn't face the voters again.
But here's how.
Yeah, look, he'd have to go out to combine that. Yeah, he'd have to go set. He would have to put his capital and
Elon. They'll let Elon sell it.
No, they won't, because they don't have any power. But the members of Congress don't fear Elon, and they don't fear Vivek. They fear Donald Trump. Now, so Trump would have to lean in and explain the benefits of. That's not his style. He wants to win the morning and win the night, and that's it.
He's not running for election. He just says, I'm going to be the one who saves the program.
So he's going to think about the headline in 5 years, thanking him.
It's all demagoguery. It's all demagoguery. The elites will love it. The elites all want it.
Here's the reality, though. Trump is going to. I mean, we're missing the point here. Trump's going to go out and say, cups were costing $15. I'm now getting cups down to $12. I'm saving the American money. And so he's not going to touch entitlements. He will take credit for reducing the debt and the deficit, and without ever touching entitlements.
If you don't touch entitlements, you're not really reducing the deficit.
I know that. We know, but there's a difference between saying you've done it and doing it. And that's what we've got to start.
I'm not saying it's 100%.
Ryan on for the R feature.
I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm just saying it's possible.